Hello, this is Film Adventure, and today we're going to be talking about filming a wedding. From my personal experience, I have filmed one wedding last year, so this video is going to be kind of my advice to myself if I were to film another wedding, or even to myself prior to filming that first one. It's just general wedding shooting advice. So first off, you're going to need a lot of preparation prior to the wedding shoot, and I took about 6 months prior, but that was because I didn't have any equipment. I had to buy 3 cameras, 2 tripods, a shoulder rig, and 2 microphones. So that took a little bit of extra time, both to budget towards that and just to actually acquire the gear, get used to using it. So that's why it took me so long, but I would recommend maybe 1 or 2 months advance planning. Just so that you know what the couple wants out of the video. And also another thing to do would be to go visit the location of the wedding prior to the shoot, just so that you can get an idea of what it actually looks like. I took a camera and I took pictures of the reception area as well as the ceremony area, and just got a bunch of different shots, different angles, just so I would know what it would look like from the lens of the camera, rather than just, having it in my head. So that just gave me an idea of what shots would look best on camera, and I think that definitely helped. Another thing is, if you have a lot of equipment, only bring the equipment that you will actually use to the shoot. Don't bring a bunch of stuff that you're not going to use, that's just going to lie around, get in people's way, get in your way, or that you might forget in the end. So you definitely don't want to take stuff that you're not going to use. You'll also want to know how to transition between different events in the wedding, like between the ceremony and the reception. There's the cocktail hour, so that's a good time to get some interviews from people outside of the wedding party, because you don't want to be interviewing people at the end during the reception. Like towards the beginning of the reception is a good time, but towards the end of the reception people are going to be leaving, so you don't want to miss anyone that ends up leaving and you don't get them on video. That's a mistake I made the first time around, is that I waited a little bit too long to get interviews and I missed a couple people. So if I were to do it again, I would definitely take advantage of that cocktail hour and early half of the reception. But if you are filming anything during the first half of the reception, just make sure that you don't miss stuff like the couple coming in, or cutting the cake, stuff like that. The first dance, the garter, the throwing of the bouquet. All of that is very important. You don't want to miss that, because those are kind of the highlights of the wedding. So just make sure that you get the best shot there and that you don't miss anything. And that includes both the camera and the mic. You need both, and they both need some setup, unless you have a mic that connects to your camera, in which case that would make things a lot easier. That's what I did. I just used an off-brand Rode mic that connects straight into my camera, but the second microphone was an external microphone, but I did not use that during the reception. It was only during the ceremony. For during the ceremony, it would be best to get at least 2 different angles. I did 3 during my wedding shoot, and 2 of them were on tripods, and I had my brother and my fiance sitting at both of them, just to monitor them, make sure that they were still going, make sure they were at the right angle, no one bumps into it or anything. They were just there to babysit for the most part. And I was going around with my shoulder rig and the third camera, getting different handheld shots, just making the most of that. And then whenever I came to edit, I had 3 different shots for just about everything. And that gave me a lot to work with, and I think that really made the end product look a lot more professional than if it was just shot on one camera on a tripod in the back. So I would definitely recommend at least 2, possibly 3 or more, depending on how many cameras you have, and make sure that they have similar quality, and you don't want 2 different cameras that look completely different. One's in 1080p HD, and then the other one's in like a camcorder that doesn't shoot HD. That wouldn't look too good, but for the most part, just make sure you have different comparable angles to use in the video, and that'll give you the best end product. On sound, what I did was, on one of the cameras on the tripods, I had my off-brand Rode mic, and that ended up being the primary audio that we used. The second mic I actually set up behind the preacher, but it was an outdoor ceremony, and there ended up being a lot more wind than I expected, so the wind kind of knocked out all of the usable audio from that mic, and we had to go with the off-brand Rode mic because it had a muffler over it, a little dead cat on it, whereas the other one, it did not. So if it is outdoor, you want to make sure that you have some sort of muffling system around your mics, just so that any wind can be canceled out for the most part. You don't want the wind ruining your sound on your video. And one last thing is, during the reception, make sure that you try and focus all of your shots on direct family members and friends of the groom and bride. You don't want to focus too much on insignificant people to the bride and the groom. You want to focus on the people that they care about most, and they will definitely appreciate that in the end whenever they see it. So just make sure that you focus on who's important. Well, that is all of my tips for my future self if I were to film another wedding, and to any viewers who may be planning on filming a wedding at some point. But that's it for this week. This has been Film Adventure, and I'll see you next week. Thanks.